Hello, heroes, and I hope you've dressed for the occasion, as we all have. Thank you so much for joining A Woman with Hollow Eyes on the One Shot RPG Network on this great day of romance and restraint. A lot of stars have aligned on this evening, so I think we can be sure that magic flux will be flying and all sorts of fates will be interwoven. So thank you for joining us. Why don't we quick go around and introduce the faces in case you're new. I'm your host, I'm your GM, Darcy, and James.
I am James D'Amato, host of the One Shot podcast, but on A Woman with Hollow Eyes, I play Calvin Weaver, who is a new arrival in actuality. He's recently discovered that he is a Vizsla, a person that is capable of casting fantastic magic spells. And he is a weaver, so he pulls together different elements of reality to produce new, and in Calvin's case, very unpredictable things. He's a bit of a fast learner, just not in the areas that it counts. Pretty much he's been getting himself into more and more trouble. Recently, his friend Kitty got him out of the hairier parts of a disastrous lease that was killing him every time he left his apartment. We haven't seen how that's shaken out yet, but I can't imagine it's going to be good for Calvin. But you know, he's just trying to do his best, live his life, and not upset too many people. And he's very bad at that.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Kat?
Hey y'all, I'm Kat Cool. On this show, I play Kitty Hart. Kitty Hart is lucky at cards and unlucky in love. She is a goetic, which means that she is the sort that deals with demons and angels and other otherworldly entities. Recently, she's gotten herself in a bit of family trouble. She is dealing with the original Kitty Hart, who is trying to take over her life. And she has an opportunity to go deal with a portion of that, as today we are headed to a world full of dead people. The original Kitty Hart being a dead person. So fingers crossed that her luck, her bad luck won't completely ruin the whole evening, as it is wont to do. And nothing love related will pop up on this day.
Impossible!
What could possibly go wrong? We've already gotten some nervousness from the chat, so or excitement, or for at least tools to put at your resources. Gateway of
your Japan guide, since you did resub,
Yes.
be sure to tell us who you want to give that sortilege to.
Exactly.
Ooh.
And Gateway of Last Resort gave just a bunch of bits for being lovely people and for being glampires. So thank you so much. That's very sweet.
Thank you.
Orbs for everybody. All right,
Ooh.
let's find our last member of the cast.
I'm Alan Linick, and in this world, I am Wayne, a maker which means that I am a magic user who imbues objects that I craft with magic for specific purposes. I am a man possessed by the desire to uncover the mystery of broken and perhaps altered or stolen memories of his, most of which revolve around a singular person, or at least so he believes. I should say, until recently, a man possessed by that, because now he is a man who is also possessed with his own gluttonous impulses in the form of Spoon Wayne, who is a little goblin-like
Creature made of silver spoon.
Entity,
I can't remember if it was during stream or after the stream where we ended up describing that he looked like the manager from the Monstars of Space Jam, but with spoons for hands. And that is a thing that is just living in me now. But I have gotten over my immense dislike of working with others to grab my friends and help them out and hopefully get them to help me in return. And so far, it's been ups and downs the whole way.
Yep. But we're
we're
wanted to get to the blue sun.
And we're doing it.
And we're going to the pale sun.
Yes.
Yeah, that's close enough. Round up.
Yeah, it's very close. We're just so close.
Excellent.
You're getting sortilege going to you.
Ooh,
Oh,
sweet.
good.
How do the points work this week for us?
Yes. So this week we have, I'm forgetting the amount, so Joe, would you mind helping me out? We have
Yeah, I got that open.
Yeah. I'm good at this.
So for the interactivity
Oh,
levels
thank you so
for
much, Russell.
this, we have, like normal, 200 bits for a +1 to a roll, 300 bits, redraw a Sooth deck card, subscribe, and you can give any player here sortilege, and there'll be a special one coming a little bit later that Darcy will announce.
Yes, okay. So stay tuned for this other special one. Excellent.
Sortilege for cat.
Sortilege for cat. Okay.
Thank you.
You're all
Also-
anticipating. some
Yeah, I
danger.
appreciate the makeup shout out, but all credit goes to Kat, who made
Right.
us up for today's episode.
They were very tolerant.
Excellent. And
And tolerable.
No.
ooh.
I would say so.
This guy.
Me?
Yeah.
And Kat, there was actually a sortilege for you earlier too, so you have 2.
Well, no, that's from your Japan guide. So
Oh,
that is,
okay.
that is just
So
us.
yeah, Wayne's got one. I've got one. I think we're sorted.
No, there's one from Names Equipped.
Holy smokes! Thank
Valentine's
you so
Day,
much.
so
one.
this has to go to the hearts.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yes.
It's gonna be an interesting day.
It is going to be very curious. So let us start and see how the magic is flowing so far.
hope we roll only
Untrustworthy
flexes.
mirror. That and it looks like a woman in a party dress. So
Oh.
yes,
It
Let's
does.
see.
You get a show it after the camera.
Yep.
yeah. I feel like we should start with that one. And what's the little symbol on it?
It's the spirally.
Okay,
But-
mysteries. That's nobody. So all right. So the cards are not in anyone's favor yet. Okay. So you had just returned from the Embassy of the Pale Sun. So you had wheedled your way, made some enemies, made some friends, but you had in the end walked away with 3 visas to the Pale Sun and a smooth transition package. Which when you brought it back to where do you go when you left? So Kitty had finished her summoning and everything, and you guys are leaving the Pale Embassy. Where are you going to do the ritual that takes you to the Pale Sun?
I think, well, the ritual can be done anywhere, right? Was my understanding of it. So I think we're going back to Calvin's place, which has become. Actually, as we leave, I'm going to insist that we don't go back to Calvin's place and that we instead return to the Waynosphere.
Yes.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. I think it would be in our best interest to never go back to that apartment again if we can help it.
Honestly, the farther away I am from there, the safer I'm going to feel. So that sounds wonderful.
Great. So that's where we go.
Oh man, excellent. So you come to the Waynosphere, which has really been hurt in your absence, right? You haven't cleaned it
terrible.
up since the spoon incident.
And I think
correct?
the ether is still out.
And the ether's still out, but
And there's a cat.
and there's the large fluffy
a
cat
cat with
ominously watching your house from outside. And Kitty, did you know to meet them there? Are you already ready? Or
I figured as soon as my shift was done, I
Yeah.
would come on over.
Excellent. So when you have this smooth transition package, it comes in this ornate, polished wooden and occasionally lacquered box. So it's this little chest that, as you open it, has all sorts of pastes and powders and like a little squeeze toy thing in the shape of. It looks kind of bird-like, but it has a little tag that's it says rouge. So it's some sort of spray-on rouge, and it comes with a hefty little soft-bound book that is your guide to the Pale, to your smooth transition into the Pale as a living Vizsla. So it comes with all sorts of instructions, but the basic ritual to get you there is that you have to fall asleep. There's a dream shortcut that this smooth transition package takes you through. So there are 3 rods with what looks like molten glass, like hot molten glass at the end. But the instructions say to touch it to the inside of a nostril, sort of get it good and up there, sort of up near your brain space. It will feel cool to the touch, and it will instantly put you into the right dream state, into the right dream, so that you can have a smooth transition.
Wow.
And y'all were told to wash your faces.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Before applying the colorful ritual makeup that all those rouges and everything are for. So the idea is that especially when going to the Eternal Party and meeting a lot of the dead for the first time, it's the dead can usually tell who's dead and who's living in the Pale, but it's nice to mark yourself as sort of, I'm coming in your space, let me make it easier for you to notice that I'm I've like properly done myself up in a respectful manner to be a guest in your home.
Right.
So that's what all of this fabulous makeup that you see on our humans here in shadow today are. So there's all this confusing makeup, there's lots of guides and things, and there's a couple automated sort of magically applied makeups. Do you two dive into it right away, or do you wait for Kitty to get there? Do you deal with Spoon Wayne's left behinds?
I think we just are waiting, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
That's my
I
instinct.
kind of feel like if there's a card that gives Calvin or gives Wayne a disadvantage, I'll make Spoon Wayne attack
Okay,
him
perfect. That
in his
makes sense.
psyche. But for now, I think Calvin dives right into it.
Okay, so you're trying on all the makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you make me some kind of roll to see how well you're able to do it? Are you do you want to do it very dexterously? Do you want to be really clever and sort of look through the book and find just the right signatures that you want to place on your face?
My thought is perception.
Yeah.
So Calvin, at this point, he doesn't understand any of the ritual significance of any of this stuff, but he knows what looks good.
Yes.
So he is going to, I'm going to spend a bene from perception, and let's spend sortilege, because Calvin would definitely mix
There we go.
magic and makeup. And that is a 7.
Excellent. And especially
Or 8 with the
with
bene.
the bene. Perfect. Okay, so you do a really fantastic job.
Yeah, 9.
Oh,
Ooh,
9. Yes.
hey.
Thank you, Phil. Lovely. So with a 9, that is incredible. So do you think it looks good to the people in this room, or does it look very curious to the people in this room and it will be just stunning in the pale?
I prefer it to be successful in the pale.
Excellent. Perfect.
I would like my compatriots to look and go, what is he doing?
I'm going to award you a despair, as you get the unsettling feeling that after you've done the makeup and you're looking at your freaking incredible work, okay?
Yeah.
Just beautiful stuff, using all of these strange devices that you've never used before. You just take to it like a duck to water. You take to it too well. As you're looking at your face, you get the distinct sensation that you have done exactly this before, and this is the face you've worn before.
God! Oh my God!
So that's what you're.
I'm just hit with some weird deja vu, and he's trying to sort through those feelings.
Yeah. All right. What are you doing as we're preparing?
I don't know. I think I'm maybe watching this. I'm probably reading the whole book.
Okay.
That's where I would go here.
Excellent.
Is just taking the book and just going word for word and trying to make sure everything makes sense.
All right. So you're piecing it all together. You're learning the sort of etiquette and making sure you're looking for anything out of sorts, as always. And I think Kitty kind of shows up in the middle of this.
Well,
Or does she?
So I got off an hour
Yeah.
ago. And then I went upstairs to wash up and make sure that I had the things that would be necessary. But I know that I'm going to a party, and I took stock of my clothing, and there isn't really anything that's reasonable to go to a proper party where we need to win friends and influence people. So I took stock of what was available to me, and my cousin is currently staying here, doing a spot of business. So I decided to, borrow an outfit. Because she has nice things and we're the same size.
And she's not gonna miss it.
No, and look, it's for the family anyway, when you think about it, really.
Exactly. If you think about it, it's not for you.
If you think about it, really, it's for the family
This is
anyway.
a gift for the family.
Yes.
That I take this.
It's gonna be fine. So, I did that. And
Excellent.
I'd like to know how it went.
Yes. Would we all? I think it goes pretty darn well.
Oh.
I pulled the cat card. It's a companion card. Is it even of your heart, possibly? Which would be pretty amazing. That guy is that weird shape. No, that's Calvin's heart. Still good. Okay, so I think that is, I think you are a cat burglar. You perfectly, beautifully, how do you do it? Do you just like quietly let yourself in and?
Oh, no, I slide Lucky Strike under the
There you
door
go.
and he unlocks it.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get into rooms in the, in the, what would we call it? The tavern? The tavern anyway. It doesn't take a whole lot of
Yeah.
effort. It's like a
so your
credit
cousin's
card
just
slide situation.
Just visiting.
Well, she's
tavern.
passing
Okay.
through doing business.
Is this cousin an NPC that we might be
I
able to
think
look
it might be if
to
you want
our
to.
user-generated
tell us.
NPCs?
Yes, absolutely. What do we think? What do we think?
I think we should go off the name and just be surprised by whatever personality traits.
I think, James, you should pick the NPC and you should tell me what the outfit looks like, Kat. If that sounds okay by you.
No, that sounds great.
So what outfit do you pull from this?
So she gets a red and blue striped shirt with a very, very ruffly poof. And like too many cufflinks.
Okay.
All the way up her arm. And then something that Kitty doesn't wear often, like a long skirt, like a
Oh,
Victorian style.
cool.
It's like really high-waisted
Yeah.
and form-fitting through. And then like a super long skirt, and then those like, you know, those cute Victorian boots, but they go up again way too high
yeah.
with buttons.
And you borrowed this fabulous outfit from Lucy Bright. She, her pronouns. A terrifyingly generous modiste who loves high-stakes card games played for potent secrets.
Ooh.
And that was sent in to us by Nightbright at Sleepy Origami on Twitter.
Beautiful.
I like Lucy Bright.
Lucy Bright.
And I feel like you two might have. Do you have more of an affinity, or do you have sort of a rivalry because you have similar?
We're
spheres of
extremely
talent?
competitive.
Yep.
Extremely competitive.
Yeah, competitive. I don't think it is like hostile competitive.
No, here's the thing. I consider Lucy my rival, and she has never once
Yep.
reciprocated that feeling.
Yep.
She is naturally good at games, and I have to cheat. That is Lucy Bright.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. So you successfully steal this fabulous outfit, and yeah, do you wear it out, or do you sort of have to pack it all up and then sneak out the window or something?
Yes, yeah. I just bundle it, and it gets I bundle it and her steamer.
Now that is war. All right,
That's a
you're.
move, yeah.
I mean, it works, but that you're going to pay for that. Perfect. So Kitty shows up on the doorstep with quite a bundle
Yeah.
of clothing and a heavy iron. So you come in and fabulous looking makeup over here. Do you let Calvin, who's clearly got it, help put yours on, or do you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Calvin is just enjoying Wayne as a new canvas at this point.
Cool. Maybe it's awakening some old feelings. You haven't really created art in a tactile way.
Exactly. I think Calvin in Shadow was just like raring for the excuse to like get into makeup stuff, but
Yeah.
he couldn't really afford it.
Yeah.
And now he's got all of these toys, and he's just painting away.
Was you so in Shadow you didn't get much into makeup, or did you?
I think he probably watched a lot of makeup tutorials online.
What
but
about your boyfriend?
man,
Anyway, I just want to
interesting.
ponder on that. I'm always curious about where influences of old Calvin and his boyfriend might have.
That's really fascinating. I'll have to think through that.
You think through
'Cause I
that.
don't know what he
So
did.
you two are make-upped all to heck. What do you do, Kitty? You are.
I like look at them and I eye the makeup warily and start setting up the steam and start steaming the outfit. So I take it the embassy went well then.
Yeah, just don't forget to wash your face.
Only got in one fight.
There was a fight?
Make sure you wash your face.
I'll wash my face. There was a fight?
Yeah, Wayne picked a fight.
What fight?
You picked a fight?
I did?
You broke a guy's hand.
Oh,
No, I didn't. I asked to wait. Oh yeah, I did. I did do that.
what'd he do?
Nothing.
I don't remember, but I might have a date.
You might have a date?
Yeah.
With
A
who?
lot happened.
With who?
Well, I don't know. I think.
Sortilege for your date, I think. From Worried Song. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I broke a guy's hand. I didn't break it. I shattered it.
To get a date?
I
No,
feel
but
like shattering is the same as breaking.
Sure, but like to get a date.
but when you break a hand, there's a connotation of bones kind of cracking.
Tell me about the date. That's all I care about.
Well, her name is Opany.
Okay.
And she's a ghost.
Okay.
It's not a date.
It's not a date.
He wants it to be a date.
I have a means of getting in touch with her, and it seems like maybe if I ask, there might be something that happens.
How exciting. Cool. Yeah, you both are out of your contract.
Yes, thank you for that.
No
I
worries.
wrote you a note on Lucky Strike. I don't know if you got it.
Yes, I got Lucky back.
Where is he?
Where is he? Oh no. Lucky.
Endless woods.
Oh no!
Poor guy.
Lucky Strike is gone.
Oh no!
Did he get lost? He got lost? Oh no.
Cut to Lucky.
Oh, where is Lucky? Oh my goodness.
Lucky is he's in Lucy's
Poor guy.
room, I guess.
No, I think
No?
even
Even
better than
worse?
Lost Woods. He had to make his way out of the embassy, right?
No,
and
so-
he flew on that bird.
But we used him to get into Lucy's room.
Yeah.
So
Save Lucky. Oh, we're pulling a new card. Oh goodness. Unwelcome child.
Oh no.
God, I think that's even a more ominous one.
it's terrifying.
So something bad has happened to
So
Lucky.
something bad has happened to Lucky. So Lucky got lost while I was making my escape out the window.
Oh no! Here's what happens.
Okay.
Lucky did like sort of fall off of your person as you were making your way out the window.
Yeah.
And as you leave the window, I think Lucy comes in the room. Lucky freezes up and pretends to be a real matchbook.
Oh my gosh.
She grabs him and puts him in her purse.
Yes!
And he's like stuck on the inside.
Oh gosh. I'm so sad. Unwelcome child is every bit as bad as I thought it was. Bad luck, imbalance, things undesired, outcasts, duplicitousness.
Yikes.
Oh, this is so good.
Okay, so where is Lucky Strike?
Well, this hasn't happened before.
He'll turn up. He always
Didn't
turns
you
up.
just get?
I just got him. I've never had a familiar.
Do we need to postpone our trip?
No, I don't want to. I'm not going to inconvenience you.
If you want to borrow Pepin, he can be your familiar.
No,
I could cast a spell.
No.
No, absolutely not. Please no. Look around. I still haven't cleaned up in here. Please no. Please no.
I'm so scared for
was
him.
different.
He gets so soggy. Oh gosh.
He does get soggy. I think he's gonna be fine because you.
I don't think he's gonna.
Did you have him with you when you picked up your dress or whatever? He's probably just in your room.
Why don't you just summon a thing to go get him?
You're right. That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
I'll
If you want to
summon-
use the study for that, that's fine.
Okay, I'll go do that, and then I'll come back here, and then I'll do this.
Great. Don't touch anything on the top shelf.
Remember to wash your face.
And wash your face.
Okay. I'll see you all in a bit.
All right, who are you gonna
I'm
summon?
gonna summon an angel.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So even with angels, you'll want to take about 10 minutes to create that
Yes,
lovely
yeah.
protective circle.
Yes, I take out instead of.
200 bits for getting lucky, so you've got to venture
Oh,
toward that.
thank
Yay.
you. A venture
Thank you, Phil.
towards the roll. I will spend a sortilege towards it.
This rate will be up all night to get lucky.
James. Abysmal.
I didn't hate it.
I don't think I know many angels, or at least not angels that want to work with me again.
Yeah, you don't have to know one. You can reach
yeah.
out. So I think this is going to be a new one to you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm scared. I'm in scared mom mode, so I'm going to summon the highest level angel I possibly can.
Yeah.
We have three plus one to ventures from 3 different people. I say we dump that all into increasing the level of what you can send.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think that's up to 8.
Yes.
Right? Isn't that? I think so, which is very high, everyone. Just so you know.
No.
Okay, so what does it look like when you create a protective ward for angels versus demons?
Yeah, so instead of like the red chalk that I normally take out, it's a gold chalk. And it's
Nice.
really expensive.
Yeah.
And I also have to take out like a pearl powder and crush it.
I think max
into
is 17.
The center.
Yep.
But as per normal, it's like the same variety of really intense scribbling. She's a lot more like nervous about it though, so her handwriting, which is
Yeah.
clearly a cursive, is like way more precise.
Right. And what does this room look like? The study. So we've got this cool gold and pearl sigil.
Yeah, so the study is kind of an open space, and then arranged. The room, Wayne has a circles thing, so the room is
Yeah.
circular, and I think from previous times we were in here, we established that there's like 3 separate workstations
Yeah.
here. There's one that's kind of like a classic workbench for like soldering and tools and stuff. And then there's kind of like a sort of alchemical one. And then there's like a magical electrical workstation.
Yeah. Where the hookup might be totally blown by now.
Right.
If it's hooked up to the ether.
Yeah, it probably is.
Excellent. But I like that it's all circles. It looks you line up that protective circle really nicely at the center of the room. All right, and let's see. You're gonna call down an angel.
Yeah.
What's your what's your pitch gonna be?
I'm gonna try to persuade it,
Okay. Exciting.
which is just 3 persuasion checks, technically.
Well, the card that you're going to be operating under is Fleeting Moment,
Ooh.
which looks pretty cool if you want to show that one off. And it enhances indigo magic, which is of like kind of reality, like we're in indigo now. So Fleeting Moment, and it enhances that guy. Again, mysteries, which is nobody's.
Nobody.
All right.
Oh, it is really cool.
Yeah.
How pretty.
All right.
Yeah, so she puts the pearl powder and goes to reach for her matchbook to light the candles for it.
Oh.
And he's not there, so she goes looking around the study dejectedly, and there's like a lighter on the top shelf, and she's like,
Yeah.
Yep.
like searches around, and there's nothing for a while, but then she finds like some flash powder and tries to like spark it, and gets it after a while with these stupid sparks on the end of her shoe.
Yeah.
And it lights up.
Excellent. So it cascades, lighting up all the little spots you wanted lit. And yeah, what?
What we got?
Yeah.
I have to go with one of the first angels sent in, and that's Ari Eloa. It's a they. They are an 8-legged lion with 2 heads and manes of fire. They have wings of silver, and they value those who are trying to reinvent themselves while staying true to their deepest principles. They exist in the gold sun and can be quite dangerous to encounter if your journey is not true to yourself.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh.
Archangel purse snatching.
What's her name?
Ari Eloa.
Arialoa.
And the backer?
And they're they. And that's sent in by Ariel Weiss. Thank you, Ariel.
Yay, thank you.
So I think there's like a low rumble that shakes the entirety of the Waynosphere, and this glow starts to open up from the center of the circle, and before it even appears, you hear its voice, and in unison, the 2 like heads say, "Behold us!" and it like arises like from within. Like from the center of the circle, like it's coming up out of the ground. And there's just this like, almost like it's coming up and out of just pure light. It's just this blinding cascade of like white light that it rides up and in on.
Yeah, I think Calvin, like hearing that rumble, runs into the room. Kitty, are you okay? And then he sees this two-headed burning lion angel and like backs out of the room.
Kitty is like clearly very agitated. She is sitting on the ground in front of the summoning circle with her legs crossed and her arms crossed, and she's also tapping her feet. And she is waiting for the light to dim so she can open her eyes. After a while, it seems like it adjusts and she realizes that it's a giant lion.
To put it mildly.
Ah.
You have called and we have answered.
Yes, hello, I would like some help. My little friend who who gets into all sorts of little trouble when left to their own devices, just like stumbles into puddles and gets...
what about your devices?
Well, they're not really material at the moment.
Is that true?
Yes, they actually have nothing to do with the matter at hand, which is my friend Lucky Strike, who is a little matchstick book entity. I don't know if he's a fire entity or a matchstick book entity because he's not really good at communicating. But they're a recent friend of mine, and I'm very worried about him.
That is true.
Yes, I know, which is why I'm telling you. And I was hoping that you could help me go find them and bring them to me, because as I said, I'm very worried about them right now, and I have no idea where they are. And I just have no idea how to go about looking for them. And I'm about to go on a journey to the Pale Sun, and it's just like, ooh.
Could you make me a
withstand?
Withstand.
A resist defense roll. We have not done a defense roll yet in this game, so get ready.
Okay.
Are you spending sortilege?
Oh yeah. I'm
Very-
spending my
very,
sortilege
very
and
smart.
my thingy-mabobbers. So,
Okay, great.
So how many?
So this is outside of the summoning. This is like
Yeah.
angel power.
I'm so ready to make this lion thing go
over.
ham for no reason.
Go John Ham if necessary.
Okay. I had gotten
This is
a boost
withstand?
before, so I guess I will just use my
great.
old boost.
Great.
My one boost is done. So an 8, so a 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
That is good. So you feel like that light that you had finally adjusted to sort of like ramps up again, and it starts to like infuse you, and so it seems to be like laying bits of you bare, but you sort of are able to sort of put up your walls.
But she also starts to like the different bits of her start changing color and like getting kind of molten, and the blue that's in her arm starts eking up it.
Absolutely. But the Ari, Aloha, they look, you see a flash of brief emotion of sort of frustration as they're not able to break your huge mental and sort of spiritual defenses against this sort of thing.
Right.
This is not your first rodeo of people trying to understand what Kitty Heart's all about.
Yeah.
All right, so now you have...
Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Persuade. I was gonna say I think it's time to decide whether they're gonna do it or not.
I agree. Make your case.
Okay. Look, I called you here because someone's in trouble. Don't you care about people being in trouble? Don't you want to, help with things like that? It's just a defenseless little buddy who's lost somewhere in the city, and I can't help him, and I'm not very good at helping people anyway, but you're supposed to be good at helping people.
You are this creature's steward.
That is, I suppose, a word for it, and right now I'm trying to do right by him and take care of him.
Do you feel you have done that in the past?
Yes, we haven't known each other very long. I'm learning how to do it.
You are of a duplicitous nature.
But you wish to be better for the sake of Lucky Strike.
What a weird phrasing. I like Lucky Strike. I intend to...
To be a good steward?
Yes, we're gonna have a
Better than you have been in the past with others.
Lucky Strike and I are gonna have a mutually beneficial relationship. Does that make sense to you?
If you do so, then you may deign to call him friend.
Yes, okay. Okay, right now, Lucky Strike is what? A servant of mine. Please go save my servant.
I'd say roll
Roll for
those
it.
Yeah, roll
dice.
it.
Roll them bones.
Okay.
More.
All right, so what's the difficulty you're looking at? Because there's usually a
Okay,
prescribed.
right now it is a 9. Whew. Yeah. So it's the challenge of the entity. So it's
Okay.
a level 8 plus 1 for the first roll.
Okay, so
Or whatever you want to put on it.
yeah, the 3 like boosts of their level, I'm not going to count against you for the purpose of this persuasion. So it's still going to be 6, which is
Okay.
That's hefty.
That is hefty.
Cool.
We have +1 from Rourke, which is helpful.
Cool,
So that's
thank
a
you.
5.
5. And
do
then
you
I
need 2
have
successes.
I have 2 persuasion. So that gets
Wow. Okay.
right?
Yeah, down to 3.
We'll see what
And
happens.
how many times do you have to succeed?
I don't know. I think 3. I think 2 more after this.
Okay.
7.
7.
Oh, I thought they were both
And
ones.
this is a 1. That's a 7.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So first one down. What argument do you make? What
Well, I
pulls
thought
them over to your
that
side?
that was the me acknowledging that my current relationship with Lucky Strike is a servile
perfect?
thing. I quite like Lucky Strike. I think I like to be friends with them. It's very difficult to understand them, but I recognize, based on the fact that I've irrationally summoned you here, and you're very...
This was a move of desperation.
Yes, I see that now. I see that now, and based on that, I think probably I care for Lucky Strike a great deal.
Why don't you make a roll, and then we'll see how that second one goes. And
Yeah.
we can see if it's effective or not.
Am I gonna use all my sortilege? I guess I am. I guess I'm gonna
You've
use...
got
do
another
it.
swordage after this. You're fine.
A 5 and a 1. Okay,
Man.
but that gets boosted up to 7 with my thing. So
Yeah,
okay.
you're good. Okay, so what's the other piece of evidence you put ahead of them?
Yeah. So I think I understand the importance of Lucky Strike to me, and I will be taking better care of Lucky Strike in the future. I just need help now, currently taking care of him, and this is the only way that I know how to do it. Do you understand?
Behold him. And then it just like puts a paw out and raises its paw up, and Lucky Strike is just under
like
it
there?
already. So he's
Cool.
in the summoning circle.
Is this your familiar?
So I have to do my final persuasion
Yes.
on whether or not you're gonna give him.
I think, yeah, Lucky Strike's just running around in little circles.
Oh no. 3. But with I have +2, so that gets it to 5.
It's exactly what you need.
Oh!
And you got another sortilege,
You got
too.
another swordage
Oh,
back.
good.
Thank you.
Kitty is out.
I'm out. Thank you.
Blind Guardian is the card I pull, which is lovely, and that is Kitty's heart. So going forward, you've got
I'll be a better guardian. Yeah.
blessed by this lovely angel, Ari Aloha.
Cool.
Excellent.
You have gained power, and with that, new responsibility.
Understand.
You are this creature's steward.
Yes. And hopefully one day their friend. Lucky, please come here and away from this terrifying.
I think the heads loom on
Yeah.
either side of you, so that like the muzzles with their long, sharp, and I'm gonna say silver teeth, like sort of open up, and it's just very intimidating and threatening. Their eyes glow with like a white fire as they look into your eyes on either side, and they say, "We are proud of you."
Oh gosh.
Please leave.
And they disappear, I think, with a choir. Like it's burning silver flames envelop their entire form, but instead of the crackle of fire, it's like ah.
Yeah, and their as they trail away, you hear their voices, and they say, "You will see us again."
So how terrified is Lucky Strike right now?
I think Lucky's fine.
Really?
Lucky
Yeah.
had a great time.
He's burning with that like
Yeah.
silvery flame.
Yeah.
And he was in a purse. Like, he was fine. You know? Like,
I think he
doesn't
spits an
understand what the
orb
fuss is
out.
all
oh,
He
yeah.
spits an orb out into your palm.
Oh!
He spits a gem orb out.
Ooh, what's that?
It is big money.
Oh,
it's buku
nice.
bucks. It's like 100 or more regular orbs, crystal
Dang.
orbs.
My poor cousin.
You're Lucky Strike is a familiar after your own heart, you know?
Kitty like stares at the orb and then like promptly bursts into tears. And puts Lucky in her pocket and waits for a while and then goes and like washes her face and then like looks at the door and tries to calculate how she can go to wash her face so they don't notice she's been crying.
Yeah.
And we scene transition so that you jerks don't notice she's been crying.
Yeah. But when I hear the door open, I call up to the top of the Waynosphere, and I'm like, I heard the rumbling. Did you touch the stuff on the top shelf?
Yes.
Excellent.
You can trust no one.
All right, so we cut to you guys are all make-upped, you're ready, you've got your clothes on, you've got whatever you're bringing with you, and what other things does this ritual require? So we know it requires you all to like go to sleep. These large like sort of brain rods, right, that have what looks like molten glass on the end that you stick up your nose that sort of triggers the thing. But what other details are there for this ritual? And do you set up any wards? Like,
I think just my house has some.
yeah, all right.
And so
we'll let that
I'm
carry it.
feeling confident in that.
Excellent.
I think they have to cuddle each other. I think they need to be in the same sleeping space.
Yeah.
And they all have to like be spooning or something.
Excellent. Maybe you have to like kind of make kind of a nesty, like you have to be almost like Twister, right? You kind of have to like be touching each other at these different particular
That's weird.
spots
Yeah.
that keep you all like linked together in the same magical.
And they need matching PJs, I think, is
Yeah,
another important
totally.
part.
That's good. What are on our PJs?
Yes, that's good.
Well, I can tell you, Calvin has recently realized, basically out of necessity, that his silver creation ability, he can also make clothing with that. So he makes some very fine, like silver silk pajamas for everybody.
Lovely.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good. Who has?
And they have little nightcaps, right?
Yes, of course
yeah,
they
yeah,
do.
yeah.
That's
Yes.
part of the ritual.
Absolutely. Who, if anyone, has Vittoria Jou's journal?
That would be Wayne.
I have it.
Okay, are you bringing it with you?
I'm gonna while no one's looking.
Yeah.
While no one's looking, I'm gonna slip it into Calvin's closet using my
closet?
dimensional doorknob.
Yeah.
Ooh, very good. Back in the apartment, that leads to the closet in Daniel McPherson's apartment.
Yes.
The East Area
Right.
place. I am going to take that vex from you.
Ooh. Here you go.
You don't perceive someone seeing you do that.
Great.
Yep, I'm not going to say who.
It's that cat.
Might be
The
cat.
cat?
Might
Daniel
be the neighbor.
McPherson's cat?
Who knows?
Jesus Christ.
It
What if
feels
it's
like
Daniel
Probably
McPherson?
is.
That's what I've been
Fucking is.
assuming.
I hate that guy.
He's... Oh, boy.
I'm gonna kill that dude.
I hope so.
If there's anything of that dude to be killed,
I will find a
he's
way.
given so much away.
I will make him a special prison and I'll put him inside.
You know what I didn't tell you guys? During the whole summoning thing, when I was getting rid of the thing on your lease, yeah, I didn't have to do a whole lot for it. The demon was just like, oh, a chance to get back at Daniel to mess with Daniel McPherson, and just went for it.
Well, so when I probably didn't tell you this, when I was being pulled into his, like, sausage shop, I saw a bunch of angels and demons frozen in time, and he was just grinding them into sausage.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. Super gross.
But it makes you a little hungry.
Hey, Wayne. You know what would be great with an omelet? Sausages.
Cuddle time.
Calvin, that's the sort of thing that you tell people in the future, okay?
I'm sorry. I told Wayne. I just. There's been a lot going on, and it's hard for me to parse which details
I
are
get it.
mundane
So we're
and
supposed
which are not.
to cuddle up, right? Wayne, I'm gonna put my head on your stomach.
What?
It's rumbling a lot.
Huh?
Your stomach's rumbling a lot.
Bloodwurst. You know what that is, Wayne?
Yeah, I know what it is.
It's blood sausage, Wayne.
I know what it is.
And it gets enveloped by egg, and it melts into it.
And you're supposed to put your it's like your head's supposed to go by it.
Well, I won't.
Want what?
Huh?
Want what?
Won't what?
You just.
But we need you to get in the formation correctly.
Yeah, I'm ready. I've been ready to go this whole time.
Okay. So
I'm waiting on you guys.
I'm waiting on you, Wayne.
So what's going on? Are we gonna do this or not?
yeah, just
We
put your
both know you got eggs.
put your head on Calvin's
You
shoulder.
got eggs in that refrigerator, Wayne.
Just put your head on Calvin's shoulder.
I heard you. You don't have to take a tone.
Well, you're not doing it.
Just pop that bad boy open and crack him out. Stir him around!
I put my head on
Use a whisk!
Calvin's shoulder, but it's like halfway to a headbutt.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So you're all cuddled up, and you've each got this long rod. You've got whatever you want to carry with you, sort of on your person or touching you. Sort of, you want that contact. There's a little sort of minor protective circle that's sort of the bound of what you want to keep all that magical energy in. And why don't you all? All right. So any last preparations or?
I got my clothes. I got lucky. I got everything I need. What you
Yeah.
guys bring in? You got clothes?
I got my clothes.
PJs.
Literally
You're
the only
such a
thing I
mess.
own.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. We are back to the family that nobody has. So you're getting a lot of magic doesn't know what to do with you yet. Banished serpent.
Ooh.
So it's nothing
Ooh.
explicitly ominous. So, but I like that it's your journey. You're leaving the indigo sun. So as soon as you touch those little those rods up your nostrils, you each take a huge intake of breath, and your whole body is sort of electrified. And you can feel lots of currents of what might be like a circulatory system, but it doesn't line up with your blood vessels. It's something to do with the flow of magic and being pulled every magical atom right through magical space and time into somewhere else. So that is pretty alarming, but you have the finest package, so it doesn't actually have any immediate negative effects on you. And you find yourselves like plopped onto what is functionally a big cruise ship. Okay?
Okay.
Sailing through let's see, what's it called? It's not the dark, but it's the in between the sun.
Sure.
What it's not just a cruise ship. What does it look like? What is it's called a sun ship. That is what it's called.
I think it looks like a riverboat.
Riverboat. Add into that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
down for that. And I think
And-
the paddle wheels like there's just water that appears and then
Yeah.
goes into the
Oh.
paddles and then
Yeah.
like
Cool,
slowly
cool.
disappears at the back end.
And I think the paddle wheels are also skeletal hands.
Oh.
Because this is like
linked
to the
together.
pail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So there's all sorts of fabulous people in here. It's not crazy packed. There's sort of a cluster of some academics, and then you have a cluster of like very huddled together robed figures that are really trying to keep their heads cowled. You're on this riverboat, so it seems like there are sort of chairs around and lots of people. There are a couple people like leaning over the edge really excitedly with some strange goggles on, trying to look out into this what kind of looks like a nebula-like, lots of little dots of different colors, all swirling in strange patterns. That's sort of the landscape that you're looking out on. And occasionally you can see what looks like little like land masses or little bubbles off in the distance of something more solid than the rest of what's around you. And you as Vizsla, maybe not you, would know that these might be something like half-worlds. So there are sort of the suns, but there bits of actuality that sort of cluster together and kind of exist outside of those suns as well. And so these are maybe, think of them like planets that are just starting to get formed, right?
Oh,
Is kind of
cool.
what you're looking at. So there is a person who is running the riverboat and all sorts of stuff, but I think we might like flash back to this in development mode scenes because you guys basically, the book told you that you're going to spend some time, that this trip takes no time, but you get to experience time passing.
Okay.
So all of you sort of learn some secrets and get to talk to interesting people and pick up new tricks. It feels like maybe 4 weeks have passed. So it feels like a very long time. Or at least, it's hard to get your handle on it, right? Some of the things that you've learned definitely should have taken you like many weeks of study. But every once in a while, I've only been here for 3 lunches. We've only had 3 lunches. And so there's sort of, it's not quite consistent. And if you try to count the number of sleeps, it doesn't match up. But there are lovely people you meet and things that happen. So why don't we tell us something new you learned on this trip before we get to the Warden of the Pale Sun and the Eternal Party. Or we could tell it in development mode.
So I think, I want to investigate details in development mode.
Perfect.
But I do know that as Calvin is stepping off this riverboat into the Pale, he has a silver peacock that's on his shoulder.
Perfect. All right. So we finally get to the Pale Sun. So what happens is it actually takes another sleep. So when you, at some point you go to sleep, or even if you didn't intend to sleep, like you intend to sort of, we're close, I want to stay up and watch Santa coming here, time skips and you are waking up. And where the 3 of you wake up is on 3 little pedestals made of this really rich marble, really strange little veins of some other kind of rock going through it. So you're all standing on these tight little daises of marble in this huge cavernous space that seems to disappear into fog at the top. And all of your companions and the boat and the outside have gone. And you are in this, what must be the precipice to the Pale. So you are now dealing with the Warden of the Pale Sun. So stuff about this has been like written in your book, but everybody has to make this journey themselves. So you're on these 3 little pedestals, and then there's sort of a bigger marble standing area, fog up ahead, and what's totally dominating the scene is this impossibly huge woman who is wearing this cascade of what looks like fine lace with strange patterns in it, all the way down, and she's holding something huge in her arms. It looks like it, kind of cradling some large dark object. And the instructions said you will want to climb the Warden of the Pale Sun, Jalad. Please be careful not to disturb her. You'll see some things that alarm you. Just keep going, stay true to your path, climb all the way up, and climb into the gate. So they said she's holding the gate, and you need to climb through it. So everybody get ready to climb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Yep, got turned in.
I just kind of shake off the journey. My God, I fucking hate parties. Let's do this.
Okay. I didn't. They meant actual climbing?
I think so.
It's just you and the giant woman.
Is there anyone else ahead of us or anything?
Why don't you make me a perception roll real quick?
I will. I'll spend a bene on it.
Lovely.
There's a 3.
Do you have any skill in that? I can't remember.
If it's a searching, that
Yeah,
pops me
I
up
would
to
say.
a 5.
Perfect. Okay, so you're watching, and it seems it's really quiet here. You get that sound of like ambient noise echo, almost like water or something, but it's really hard to pick out. And as you're looking up into that fog, you occasionally see a shape, like of some shadowy figure. Sort of, you see like an arm go up, right? Like someone's climbing ahead of you, but you can't quite make them out. And they're way, way up, and there's. It almost seems like you're just getting maybe 3 frames of that movement, and then they're gone. And then somewhere else on the body, somewhere on their arm, right? There's someone pulling up. So
We need a faster way up.
I agree.
I could just fly. Maybe I could try and make you guys fly.
Let's do it.
Well, don't be loud though, because we're supposed to not wake
disturb her. I
Yeah.
will leave thunder out of this.
So let's see. Okay, yeah. To move, let's see. How much do I think we weigh? I think a level 5 should do this.
Keep in mind that Kitty Hart is entirely crystal.
Are you heavy? Does that make you
I'm
heavier than normal?
made of glass, so interesting.
So
A
I
glass person as compared to a person.
I bet it's. Well, windows are heavy as balls.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
gosh.
Still made of like water though.
I could bump it up a level and move. I can move about 3,000 pounds.
Oh,
is
that's
what it
plenty.
worked out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do that.
Okay. Okay. So Calvin is going to he licks his finger. He puts it up in the air to feel the wind, and he sort of swirls it to curl the wind around one finger, and then he just sort of feels himself in this place in the universe that is so far away from where he was once trapped. And he takes hold of that feeling in himself and draws it out, and that's some freedom that he's wound together. And now he's trying to weave them into, what do I think? Yeah, he's going to weave them into a parachute that will wind them gracefully up, because I'm combining grace and grace from wind and distance from freedom to basically parasail our way up this object. So what is the current heart on the board?
I think this new.
Oh, this is a new thing. Okay.
This is a new thing. Tyrannical clock, and it is of Notions, which is Calvin.
Whoa!
Heck yeah,
bam.
+1.
It's a cute kitty man.
Yeah. And what? I forget. Do your weaves have spell colors? I don't think they do.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I think it is mostly based on the things that I'm working with here.
Okay.
So I think the color of grace, I'm going to put grace at I think that's like ballerina pink. And I'm going to say distance is the color of the yellow lines on the highway.
Oh, I like that.
So it's like that pink and yellow swirled together to create this parachute that I like hook into
Nice.
each of you, and it's like not like it's like the hook is going through your skin and through your body, but it doesn't feel painful at all. It's just sort of grabbed hold of like your essence, and suddenly you're like as light as a balloon. And let's see how this
All right,
spell
so you've got
worked
one
out.
venture from the heart, your heart. Are you spending any sortilege to help your chance?
I'm going to spend sortilege. I am not going to spend any sorcery because I want to do ridiculous stuff later on.
Okay.
Hell yeah, that's an
Wow.
8 plus the 1 that brings it to 9. So that should beat it.
Yeah. What level spell was this? This was
This
the
is 6th.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So
Well,
you're-
Kitty's 2,000 pounds.
I don't know. They brought up a good point in the chat that like it might just be an appearance thing instead of me actually being that because people get their appearances
the
shifted.
changeries, right?
So
That's true.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I think you're under 2,000 pounds. I think. I think I can rule that. So you're getting this ready, and one of the hands on that gate, lets go, and it comes all the way down, and there's a huge amethyst ring on it, all sorts of cloudy and stuff, and it gets held out to you. And so this hand is larger than you, right? Like it's this enormous. The ring is maybe the size of this table. Just this incredible hand. It's fleshy and warm, and so it seems to as you're getting the spell ready, it holds it out delicately, And one of you recalls that occasionally, if she's like aware, she will ask, Jalad will ask for like your respect and your promise to behave in her realm.
Mwah.
Yeah. Mwah.
It slowly recoils away from Calvin's or Wayne's kiss, and as you can see that as it goes back up, it starts turning grayer and more stone-like. It loses that warmth that it had, and your spell takes off. Okay, so you are buoying them up by this parachute, sort of bolstered by wind that you're controlling, or how does that work?
No, there's because I wove together freedom, so I don't think there's any control in it, really.
Oh no!
It's like we're gracefully just sort of caught in the wind, and like there's this long dancing pattern. I think the benefit that we get from this is that we don't have to go through the effort of climbing up this thing, and there are no hazards that we had to deal with. But I think it takes us about the same amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
It is a fun ride, though.
It is cool, and as you are watching,
Fun.
yeah, you as you're watching, occasionally this spell brings you really close to her, and you can see much closer this like black and white lace outfit that she's wearing, and you see that there are versions of yourself climbing and looking very exerted, right up at the top, and then occasionally you'll see a different version of yourself that's like. Wayne has built some strange contraption that's like buoying you all up there. There's several versions where a host of like demons or angels, and it's sort of flipping between which ones those are pulling you up, and it's always ahead of you. It's never behind you. It seems like the illusions or whatever they are, visions, only extend above, and so you finally wheel your way around, and you sort of circled around this giant woman several times. You're getting up closer to where you can see her face. You sort of land near the gate, which turns out to be this enormous coffin. It's a very classic coffin shape, and it lies open, and there's a bunch of steps down below, so you sort of get perched on the top of it. And up way ahead is this face that is not looking down at you, and it's hard to focus on. And this whole part of Jalad's body is kind of turned to stone. It looks really hard and totally uniformly gray, and the eyes look like glass, not like flesh anymore. So you can tell that she is the transition between life and death. All right, do you guys step through, or are you too cute? Any other shenanigans I should know about?
We just promised to behave.
Yeah, we're going through.
Good.
All right, you step through and take your first steps into death.
What kind of omelets does she have up here, Wayne?
Shut up.
I wasn't saying nothing.
I was talking to myself.
Are you okay?
Uh-huh.
Are you sure you're okay?
He's been grumpy.
Well,
Yeah,
mean,
I'm fine.
You're a grumpy person.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, wouldn't you? You've like isolated yourself completely.
But I'm very amenable.
To specific people. You're very considerate of specific people, but to the world at large, what do we think?
I mean, you can be grumpy and considerate. That's for sure.
Looking at your character sheet? I have to know why.
Wait, I know why. I just can't remember where I wrote it down.
Okay.
So what a good reaction
Oh,
to
man.
being called
I
grumpy.
just do this to you, Kitty.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Cool. Kitty grabs Calvin's arm and starts booking down the stairs.
Excellent. As you barrel down these stairs, it seems like lit by the strange light of the gate and Jalad herself, and then it gets very, very dim, and it goes all the way to pitch blackness. But you trust in the process, and you step through, and the three of you emerge feeling wet, but and gasping as though you just come out of like ice cold water. And you stand on this rocky shore of sort of viscous sea spreading out before you, and you are now officially in the Pale. You are on the banks of the pallid sea. There are boats with skeletal and ghostly sort of crewmen, and there seem to be strange bodies sort of within, like just walking in these shallows as well. But you can see off to your right a wild party taking place. So there are huge columns hung with strange sort of veily, different colored like tents have sort of been put up, and there's all sorts of, you can see lots of various dead entities and various living entities, lots of the makeup like your own, and there's just a sort of you get hit with this huge sound of music and laughing and yelling and cheering. And maybe we'll take a brief second break
Sure.
if we need it. I think I might fix my mic. Excellent. So we will come back when the crew joins the party. Welcome to the Pale, everyone.
Cool.
Welcome to the Pale, Visley. You've journeyed a long way to get here, but it's worth it.
Are you plugged in?
Am I plugged in? No, probably not.
Oh no.
We're having some technical difficulties, heroes.
It's
but,
because I'm dead. I'm coming from the
go.
Pale. Excellent. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pale. So we have just entered in on the Eternal Party. This is a place in the Pale where huge amounts of both dead and live Visley and other spirits come to hang out and celebrate life and death and existence and have a grand old time. So to represent this mechanically for all of us at this collaborative storytelling experience, we're going to introduce a new bit. So for 500 bits, you can trigger the announcement of the entrance of a new NPC. So we've got some people we would love to show up at this party, and it's sort of like, those fancy ballrooms where someone announces the arrival of so and so. That's what you get to do. So come at us with those bits, and we will see who comes to this whole milieu. All right. So the three of you have just stepped out of the icy waters of the Pallid Sea, and before you is sort of a party happening. You know that Vittoria Zhu is the one who invited you here, and said that you'll have all sorts of answers available to you by coming here. She also specifically requested that you bring Wayne because people here keep saying he's great at parties.
He's great at parties.
All right, so who takes lead? There's no you're sort of a ways off, and it looks like there are a couple sort of guard-looking people around different columns who you might need to go talk to get your name announced. You hear off in the distance sort of the sound of the occasional announcement of a new person.
Sure.
All right, here we go.
Oh, let's put a card out too. This one goes on the Invisible Sun, Dangerous Elixir. So this stays in effect for the rest of the game. Super cool, and it is that I believe.
Whoever
We're gonna
belongs
get
to,
so
that's
drunk.
who's gonna lead.
Oh no.
Dangerous Elixir. That's very true.
What's the
It's a cat looking at some potions.
the symbol is like a rising sun.
And that's you. So +1 to you for the rest of the time it's up there. Super cool.
I'm gonna do something
put that on the hand?
really
Yes, I
dangerous.
will.
Here comes a new challenger. Okay. So
Oh!
as you're reaching the party, we have the announcement of a new NPC. Who wants to start? Who's got one?
I think we should do mine when we get in. So
Okay.
Do you wanna
either
go first,
Kat
though?
or Alan?
Either's good.
Well,
Well, you were about to announce us, right?
I was.
It seemed
it
like
can't
you.
be us. This
Right.
this is a person going right before us.
No, I know. So you were. Yes. So Wayne's like, okay, I got this, and starts to go take us up to the guy.
Yeah,
to,
I turn on a heel and I almost
start
strut.
getting in.
I strut.
Ooh.
It's like a
And
very sudden shift in
Then
posture.
someone swiftly moves right in front
Yeah.
of Wayne, taking Wayne's position.
Yeah.
And is shepherded in front, and the whatever entity is announcing.
Yeah. So this entity is like a big fern plant. So all sorts of long fronds that are very elaborately decorated, and this plant is not dead, it's live, and it has lots of markings along its waxy leaves to respectfully pay its respects, but it like shifts towards you. It's on this sort of long studded stalk, and it shifts towards you and sort of unfurls some fronds expectantly.
And the frond plant takes the tasseled proffered scarf end of the ghost, the resplendent ghost that just arrived, and announces to the group, the steadfast vagabond. And Wayne, your neighbor just arrived and took your spot in line.
After you.
They sounded very nice.
This was the kindly neighbor ghost who had tried to check in on Wayne and firmly rebuffed. So are any of you saying anything to it, or you just said after you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely to see you here.
You as well. We
glad-
should get together more often. Why don't we?
And the steadfast the steadfast vagabond is being pulled away, but says, let's do talk. I am worried, you know.
Oh.
I'm there for you, but just keeps getting pulled and pulled away.
I'll find you inside.
And the ghost is looking very baffled that you're so friendly. So the steadfast vagabond continues going on. So I'm imagining like translucent layers of, usually this person's sort of very reasonably dressed and sort of, nice clothing, but sitting around. This is like capes upon capes that are all translucent, so you can see all the layers of different colors and patterns. And it seems to be greeted very, very graciously by many people out on the dance floor. Looking fine. All right, there was another person who was announced.
So
do they sneak ahead of us, or
are
do
they going to
come
go
right
ahead?
after?
Let's have them after.
Okay, perfect.
Let's do ours, and then we will get
right.
right to
Is
the
that the
next one.
tactic you take? I thought you were like a little more prickly. Am I supposed to be really nice to that? What angle are you taking on the neighbor?
Angle?
Yeah.
He's my neighbor.
Yeah, Kitty, he's a neighbor.
He's fine. I don't like the other guy.
Oh, that one's fine then?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why?
no reason. We should be announced.
I just put our names in, guys. We're good to go.
Great.
All right. Do you each want to do your own announcements? Because you tell them what to say, right?
Oh, gosh.
I told them what to say.
Okay. So what is Calvin?
Oh man. Okay.
Oh, did you put it in for all of us?
Yeah.
Good, yes.
So helpful.
All right. So first up is the fern pipes up, or one of the leaves in the fern pipes up. Now announcing the card shark who's got hearts in her hand and on her sleeve,
Oh, Lord.
Miss Kitty Hart. And there's like lights and fanfare, and there are a bunch of like skeletons playing trumpets
Yes.
and whatnot. And it's sort of like a swinging big band jazz vibe as you walk down the stairs. And next up, new to actuality, Calvin Weaver. And Calvin strides in and
Nothing to him.
steps forward. Well, there's nothing to him yet. Snaps his fingers, and the peacock that was on his shoulder jumps back and turns into a cascade of feathers that become a cape, and he gracefully walks down the stairs. Well, I say gracefully, but he's also waving to people and just having a great time. And finally, you've been waiting to see him here. He's great at parties. Wayne! And I think there's like an eruption of excitement from the
Yes.
room.
Yeah, and I think I bust out my favorite party trick, which is I pull from a pocket. I come in holding a bottle of champagne, and I flip it around in my hands and do a little bow, and then drop it on the floor and stomp the cork off of it. And this like cascade of champagne pours out of it, and I literally surf down the stairs
my
on this
Man!
wave of champagne that then flits up into the air and explodes outward around the room and refills everyone's glass. Who isn't full.
Wayne's so great at parties.
So great at parties. So I am going to award you a despair, because despite that freaking incredible fanfare,
Everyone's gonna be
you are
trying to
just
fucking talk to me
selling.
all night now.
Even worse, it's that all the living folk with their bright markings and everything are losing their minds. They're so thrilled. They've been hyped up, and it's even delivered past that. But you notice that a large proportion of the folks who are dead don't look impressed, and are whispering to each
Oh
other.
crap!
during
Wait,
their-
I read the whole book. What did I do wrong?
As far as you know, you didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, they're upset at me for something completely different.
Maybe.
We'll see
I
what
take all that
happens. We'll see
in,
what
but
happens.
I just keep the smile.
Yeah, you keep the
plastered
smile.
on.
Excellent.
And I think once we're inside, the lights flash back on there once more, and the fern pipes up. And now, be sure to hold them, otherwise she'll force you to fold them. It's everyone's favorite card sharp, Lucy Bright.
We go to the food cart where Kitty had beeline to, and she and Lucky look at each other, and look back at Lucy and then look at each other and duck. Yeah.
Perfect. The food cart is full of lots of food that had died a natural death, right? So like the creatures and people, all sorts of things. Books that had sort of withered away into dust. You sort of get the outline of them, or the pages have gotten to, all sorts of objects are there for eating too. You see a bunch of logivores. You seem to have gotten on a table that's full of books, and specifically logivores who eat knowledge from books, and that's how they sustain themselves. Very unpopular in libraries, and Saturnine are sort of really enjoying themselves, both living and dead. So you're hiding behind that. What are you doing?
Well, we do have another person we have to bring in.
One
It's
more.
true. Okay, let's see. Who had
I've
one on
got the
deck?
big pile of NPCs, so I'll hand this over to Alan and
Great.
allow him to introduce someone.
All right,
Excellent.
this is someone I'm very excited to introduce. One of the fronds on the fern pops up and says, let's see. So the frond pops up and it says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the person who, if you need memories, can serve as an insider, but is actually a puppet controlled by a spider. It's Agamemnon Butler." And this paper, this body that looks like it's made of paper mache, with little joints in it, comes out through the thing, and it's wearing a tuxedo with long tails on it. The face and body it's like an approximation of a human form, but it's very neutral. The face is all the features are kind of nondescript. It's almost like someone who can't tell people apart from each other made this average person costume.
Sure.
And this shell or puppet or whatever walks down the stairs and waves to a couple of people and walks over. And there's a small window cut into the chest that's transparent. So this spider who's controlling the puppet can see where it's going.
Good.
So inside, it's just webs web lines that go up to different mechanisms to control joints.
Yeah.
And it's just this spider looking out with its little mouth parts working, and quickly strumming different strings to make the puppet move around. And that is Agamemnon Butler.
Very cool.
From who?
That was submitted by Zachary Miller. Thank you,
Zachary. That's delightful.
That
Super
was
cool.
So that person sort of strides down the long staircase in a not quite human manner, I assume?
Yeah, and there's no footfalls. It's a real soft, almost
Yeah.
like it's being marionetted.
Beautiful.
Is kind of the vibe it gives.
Excellent. All right, so you're hiding behind a food cart.
Yeah.
Calvin, you're very proud of yourself. You had a great opening. And you're looking for Vittoria Jus, right? Mm-hmm. So there were sort of the artists, the authors part of the journal that you had read, so you vaguely know what they should kind of look like, and you haven't noticed them yet, so you're still kind of on the lookout. What's your approach here? Are you here to have a good time, or?
Calvin is here to mix and have a good time. I have sort of established Calvin as a manic social butterfly, so I think that's what he's going to do. He's just going around saying hi to people and introducing himself.
The forbidden game, and it's another of Calvin, so you are currently at +2. So whatever you're trying to do is working for this crowd, man. Excellent. So you're just trying to social butterfly it up. Let's see.
The forbidden game sounds a little foreboding, as though I've unwillingly entered myself into some real danger here. So I'm really hoping to see some of that.
Oh, good. I'm positive, Calvin, you'll be able to deliver. So yeah, let's see. Who do you seize upon first? Are you trying to stay with the crowd? Your friend Wayne here looks very popular. Or are you going off and doing your own
he's
thing?
popular with living people, right?
It's true.
I must know that, and I don't know if Vittoria Jus is alive because she
Right.
had us meet her here.
Right.
So I think I'm starting with the dead.
Excellent. Cool. So you go over to there's some kind of what seems like a poetry reading happening with a huge cluster of dead folks, but it seems structured in a way you can't quite tell. So one person will stand forth and start to speak words. The one you're currently listening to isn't in a language you can understand, and visions and like scenery and like visual art seem to be springing forth from these words directly. But you notice that everyone's watching really intently and like critiquing. And so one person stops and another starts up, and they seem to like all look over at the next person like there's some sort of competition going on.
I have exactly
Ooh.
the thing for this. So Calvin is watching this, and the one thing he hates is being left out. He wants to participate in things, but he knows he doesn't speak the language that this competition calls for. And I do have this. I'm sorry. What were these called? What's the broad
ephemera.
category? Ephemera. I do have this piece of ephemera that is a level 5. That is lost in one's translation. A person's thoughts are suddenly in a foreign language they don't understand.
Wow.
So Calvin is going to cast the spell on himself.
What?
And speak the thoughts that he is having in order to participate in this conversation, in this competition.
That's amazing. So,
Yeah.
all right. Let's see. I think it's going to be, you're going to have to kind of like cast that as a spell higher than its normal level, because you're shooting for the language that they're speaking, or are you shooting for any random language?
I can't.
'Cause, like,
I don't know.
it's
I don't
unclear
know
if it's
the
one language.
language. Yeah. So like after seeing a couple people do it, I can't
It
tell.
seems like there's different ones, but you're not sure if it's any language will do or specific ones.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to cast it a level higher than itself. That's
Excellent.
That's what I built him to do, is cast spells that he doesn't know how to cast.
Super cool. So who's that from?
That one was submitted by Solicitor 6. Thank you.
Solicitor 6, thank you.
All right.
All right.
And I'm trying to decide if I want to spend sorcery on this. So I'm right now getting a +2, so I need a
Yeah.
3. But how many levels higher do I have to cast it?
You think that, like, it's always hard to tell, but it's probably pretty difficult, so it's probably at least like a 6 difficulty thing.
Okay,
But the level of that ephemera adds to your venture. How high is that level? Does it say?
It's level 5.
That's level 5. Okay, so you just need to roll like a 1. You're
Oh.
or guaranteed success, because it's such a powerful ephemera.
Cool. Yeah, I got a 3.
Excellent. Okay, so you do cast it as the level higher. All right, so what does this look like? So
Man.
yeah, and like, what are you trying to? So sometimes you're getting. It seems like they're saying things that, you know, something about the meaning or the incantation of them is what's painting this visual picture, right? So what do you say? What image are you trying to conjure,
Gosh.
or what feeling, or what?
Well, so this is a thing that Calvin doesn't know what he's thinking
Yeah.
right now. So he is speaking literally like directly from the heart in
Okay.
this situation. So I think the visual picture that we see, it's a flower bud that we see that is starting to unfurl, and then like storm clouds gather overhead and like strike around it, and it's like being whipped around and almost torn out of the ground. And I think there's going to be a string that's sort of like holding it in place, coming out of it. And I think then a sort of like janky mechanical like dome sort of appears around it, sort of sheltering it from this storm. And like slowly it starts to open more and more, and before like we can see the full face of this flower, before it completely unfurls, I think like some beam of energy like shoots out of it and blasts up into the sky, and there's like a massive cloud burst, and we can see illuminated, now that the clouds are out of the way, is just a path of suns.
Cool.
And that's it. That's his little poem vision.
That's awesome. I'm going to draw a card to see how that compares to the rest of people. So you successfully like cast it, and it's really interesting. What was your? Was this almost your major card? Questing
That was
Knight?
almost my major card.
Questing Knight. I feel like
Questing
that's a
Knight,
success.
baby.
Definitely. So it's on a swan. Excellent. So they're sort of silenced by all of these denizens after you've worked your magic, and I'm
Calvin doesn't
imagining.
even know what he's thinking right now.
But you still leave it like exerted, right? Like that was it was taking your innermost thoughts and making them external. That takes magical energy that was difficult to do, but you totally pulled it off. So I think one of them. Let's see. Can I have that NPC? Of course.
We do have another entrance, by the way.
Do we?
Yes,
Very
I
exciting.
think once we
great.
leave this scene, the
Yeah.
bumper in between
Perfect.
scenes should be the next NPC.
I love it. This is a ghost who comes up toward you, and it's hard to tell if it's one entity or three. There's like a tall center being, and there are two slightly shorter versions of these sort of like robed figures. One is sort of feminine-looking face, one is sort of masculine-looking face, and another is ever shifting. Sort of in the middle is sort of all things in between. They reach out and grab your hands, and everyone's like sort of looking at this person as some sort of arbiter of this game or event, and they sort of reach out and try to grab your hands. What do you do?
He grabs back.
Okay, excellent. The middle like face that keeps changing sort of leans in really close and whispers something in your ear. Could you make me a quick withstand defense roll?
Absolutely. 7.
Okay, not too bad. You still take an anguish for a 7. This is a incredibly powerful being. It whispers to you, in some language that you shouldn't be able to understand, but sounds like all languages at once, ever shifting. It's not fair when you are such an experienced player of the game. I thought you went on to other circles of the game. Don't come beat these younglings. It isn't seemly.
Zargaboebubla?
Pats you on the cheek.
He can't even speak a language that he understands right now.
He puts a pin on whatever outfit you're wearing. Are you still wearing the pajamas, or are you in a cool outfit now?
I am in a cool silver tuxedo right now.
Perfect. There is a pin of a big it's like a porthole looking thing. So it looks like it's got metal around it, and it's got some glass, and it's constantly showing different scenes and like dreamlike visions and sort of pins, and everyone sort of claps as this whole ceremony takes place, and people are sort of whispering about what that was, and like the tribunal picked a winner, and this entity sort of starts walking away from you, but everyone's really thrilled and asking you about like what that meant and how long have you been playing the game, et cetera, et cetera.
And he just babbling in a language that he doesn't understand.
That's great.
Yagabogazor.
Excellent. So you're lounging, enjoying, having a great time, despite feeling very, very unsettled by the fact that it's assumed you've ever played this game before.
And here's the thing: he can't even think about it. He can't even think about that earth-shattering revelation because he doesn't understand his own thoughts right now.
Oh no!
Only has emotions.
He's all Calvin all the time. All right. So we have before we shift to a new scene, who enters the party now?
I got one, or you got one?
Go. I just did one.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
then
back
where's
to you in the
NPC?
rotation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No pressure, but there's a rhyming game with the frond now.
Oh, I wasn't going to. Well, the frond is very considerate of the person's demeanor. So another ghost appears.
Yes.
And the frond becomes dour as the person is dour.
Oh, lovely.
And this ghost they look like a boring human. He has like he's a man, he has a high widow's peak, and he's wearing a fine suit that is not a business suit, is like a suit that is proper for the occasion, but it is simply proper for the occasion. And he's like barely touching the frond. And the frond announces, yes, you all know him. Many of you still contract with him. It's the wonderful Gabriel Kincaid, Esquire. And a Goetic enters. That's a very, very famous old contract expert. He's a legal professional, a master of all forms of mystical contracts. He deals with demons, blood pacts, and ethereal alliances. Good old Gabriel Kincaid. Thank you, Solicitor 6.
Ah, yay. All right, so Gabriel Kincaid has entered. Seems very well known by the people here.
Yeah, extremely well known. That's as dour as he is. People like love him because he does good work, and he has forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so we just saw Calvin having a grand old time. Kitty, you're still hiding. What's your plan here? What's your plan of action? Because you see, like, Lucy Bright, looking a little like she's looking specifically maybe for someone, perhaps?
Yeah, so I was trying to figure out, because I'm wearing her clothes, what to do, and I had like a thought that was like, maybe if I get boot blacking, I can black my hair and start pretending to be original Kitty Hart, and then maybe people will recognize me as her, and then if I have to deal with Lucy, I can be like, psh,
And you could fish for information about
right,
OG
like
Kitty.
it's like a great plan, but then this old guy came to the table for food, and he was very sad. And he was very sad because he had recently died and his wife was still alive. And he looked very wealthy. And the thing is that, like, there's this thing called the grandparent trick. Have you ever heard of it? Mm-mm. Okay. Well, if there's a grandparent alive, you call them and you're like, I'm your grandchild. I'm trapped in this foreign land and don't call my parents because that would be super embarrassing, but could you please forward me this money so that I can get back out of here because, oh no, all my money was stolen. So Kitty's invested now.
Okay.
About getting information about, because he's just like talking about his wife that he loves so much, and she's just like, yes, where is she?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're working on your next
Yeah, so she's just been like lending a very kind ear, and Lucky Strike is perched on her opposite shoulder taking desperate notes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's what's been happening, and it's been going pretty well. Hopefully, for the most part, he doesn't seem suspicious. He's very sad. Is the thing of it. But she's aware that other things are happening.
Yeah.
And with the announcement of Gabriel Kincaid, she's like, oh, that's right, you have stuff to be doing. And starts looking around to see how he's doing and how, what was his name? Was it Agamemnon Butler?
Yeah.
How either of them, like, who's around them, because she's going to have to make her way to them eventually.
Okay. And Agamemnon Butler, do you have history with this person?
No, never met before, but they did introduce them as, like, a memory kid.
Yeah.
And there are some memories that I am missing.
Excellent. All right, so you can see Agamemnon Butler is up in this really pretty balcony that is full of like plush, interesting couches and what looks like some sort of ethereal waterfall that a couple people are sort of playing in. There's some very nymph-like creatures sort of having a good time, just sort of like singing. There's like music up there, and so Agamemnon Butler has made their way up there and is sort of perched over the balcony and speaking to someone, speaking to like a nymph over some conversation. But it's a ways away, and you would definitely be walking into the site. Are you trying to hide from your cousin or not?
Best way to hide is to hide in plain sight. So at the moment, I am not doing anything other than remaining inconspicuous
Perfect.
and talking to this person. But now I realize that it's time to head into the fray. So I'm just going to clap this gentleman upon the shoulder, furthest me, and be like, "Well, Gramps, don't worry at all. She's gonna die real soon too." And steal his neckerchief
Oh my gosh.
on exit and wrap it around my very noticeable hair as I head into the crowd and start making my way towards Agamemnon Belair.
Excellent. All right, so you were doing that.
Yeah.
What's been your plan? So you're about to get there.
I've been listening from afar. Once I see that Calvin is not beelining for Victoria, I'm just kind
haven't
of
found
on the
Victoria
lookout
yet.
for her.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking to people. I think as the camera shifts away from Kitty and
Yeah.
over to Wayne, he's like surrounded by 3 or 4 different people. And we just come in like mid-conversation. He's like, no, with honeyed words like that, are you sure you're not goetic?
Actually,
Get out of here.
Before we get into this,
Yeah.
we do have to introduce
That's
another
right.
person.
Oh, we got
because
one.
Okay, right,
we
that was a
did
scene
just
change.
get-
Yay.
Yes, that's for our scene change. Everyone get out of the way for Aspen McCrae! And this woman who is in like these very bright, joyous colors.
Yeah.
She looks like a sunflower. I think that's how her hair is done up. So she's got these just points all around her head, and she's like moving down the stairs very gracefully. There are a lot of people like sort of gathered around to see her and meet her. And as soon as she gets to the bottom of the stairs, let's see. Okay, yeah. It says, in spite of her sunny demeanor, she trails despair like a veil. So as she walks past these people who like sort of gathered around to meet her, everyone behind her starts bursting into tears and wailing.
Yeah.
And that is Aspen McCrae,
She
sent
is not
in
good at parties.
by Megan Tooley.
Thank you, Megan Tooley. That's awesome. So I think we cut from the sounds of wailing to laughter and
No, I don't believe that story for a second.
it's true. It's true.
No, you could talk your way out of any corner, and I don't believe for a second you've ever been caught off guard by anything in your life.
Who is this person you're talking to? I have to know.
I think it's one of the
Who are you
people that
working
we introduced.
Is it? I don't think it's your neighbor, unless it is. Did your
Nah, I think I'm talking to Lucy.
Yeah, that works great. Is Lucy having any of his bullcrap? Or is she kind of getting into it? Like, what's
no,
her
I think she's
personality?
into it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to act it out?
God, no.
Please!
Fine.
We have to get the duel.
Well, but then I can't talk to her later if
That's
she confronts
true.
me.
Oh,
You
that's
see, that's the
true.
problem here.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I have a reputation for talking my way out of anything, but that doesn't mean I can. You are so sweet.
No, I just don't look. If you want to tell me the story again, you have to at least tell me the truth this time.
I'm not going to repeat the story to you because it happened word for word.
But why would a 2-headed lion need a matchbook and a gem orb?
That's why I'm telling the story. And it wasn't a lion. It's very important that you know that this was an angel.
Okay.
An angel. It was a lion with 6 legs and silver wings. Its manes were fire. 2 manes because it had 2 heads.
All right, I take it back. Honeyed words are not of a goetic make, but if the way you spin stories, if you put that to craft, you'd be a maker in no time.
She blushes. Well, sir, you flatter me too much, but what brings you here? You've traveled an awful long way.
I have. When you get an invitation directly from Victoria, it's hard to refuse.
You know Victoria Zhu.
I do, and I am a sucker for a fun time. And I pour another glass of champagne for myself, and I drink it. But this is a glass I brought with me that, as you tilt, it just evaporates
Nice.
liquid away. And after I finish the flute of champagne, I say, "Speaking of Lucy, you wouldn't have happened to see her around anywhere, would you?
Oh, one doesn't just see Vittoria Zhu around. She'll find you when she's ready to see you. But if she invited you, she must want to.
I can't see how she wouldn't. Lucy, would you care for a dance?
I would love a dance.
I have watched and mentally copied the most extravagant dance on the table.
Yes!
And I'm going to make use of a cool ability that I have that is news to chat, called Echopraxia.
Yes, good.
Where anything I have seen, I can any physical action I've seen, I can replicate.
Yeah.
So I took in I've been watching a couple of different people dance, and I took in the most extravagant and fantastic moves from each individual person, and I'm going to weave them together into. So I do a little bow, I kick out my little coattails, and I offer my hand to Lucy, and walk her out to the dance floor, and we begin the most breathtaking of dances. And I will roll on it if I have to.
I don't think you have to roll, but you do have to spend those sweet sorcery to
I
cast
will.
it, right? This is Echopraxia. Is this a new secret you've learned? Or
It is a
spell?
secret.
Okay,
it's a
great.
straight up secret.
That's awesome.
And I think while this is happening, since I'm now anticipating the arrival of Vittoria, I am the taskmaster. While this is happening, I would like to try a real subtle, almost sleight of hand thing, because I'm getting a bad feeling in my stomach that might be foretelling or it might be Spoonwain. But I'm going to casually apply the mark of fingertips of light onto my fingers and then put my gloves on over them.
Cool. What does that do?
So fingertips of light is a level 6 ephemera object. I apply the mark to all 10 fingertips, or in my case 9, and they turn my hands into level 3 weapons usable on ghosts, spirits, and demons.
Nice.
Just touching such a being inflicts 3 points of damage. And it ends at the end of the next combat encounter. So that'll just stay there until we
you
fight.
have a combat.
Yep. So I do that, and I put the gloves on over them so that I can quickly get into go mode if I have to.
All right, so you
cool.
sweep our dear friend Lucy onto this dance floor, and you are.
Is it live music, by the way?
Yes.
I mean, no,
Well.
because they're dead.
Oh,
They are
sorry.
skeletons.
Is the music
Please.
playing live? I don't know how that.
It is not recorded.
No, it's not.
Okay, let me try again.
Oh,
Is the band present and playing music like a live sort of way?
No, not in a live sort of way. But I think earlier I mentioned it was a big band jazz from
Right.
Skeletons.
So as I'm
There's
walking
a sweet
by,
xylophone solo going on.
And
in
they're
some
all
rigs
dead.
now.
yes.
As I walk by them with Lucy on my way to the dance floor, I say, "Fellas, it's too live in here. Can you dead it up a little?" And they deaden the music.
Ooh.
I'm gonna try to persuade them to make it more dead applicable.
You're pretty good at parties, but I'm gonna need a roll to see if you're that good at parties.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
dude.
spend a sortilege
Yeah, dude.
and an interaction benefit.
Yes.
Ooh,
Hey.
someone's using those honeyed words.
I am. And
Let's,
by the
pull a
way,
new card.
just a casual +5 to persuasion.
Yes.
What? What's your? You are a. Okay, I pulled
Secrets.
the Imperator.
I am of the
Which
secrets.
is sovereign.
Very
Plus-
scary man.
+1 to all actions, +2 if it's your heart, so +2 for Kitty.
Thank you.
Ooh,
So you
Nice.
already get a +1 for this. Yeah.
Great. So
plus
that'll
5.
be a +7 total.
Dang.
Holy cow.
Let's see if you can convince this big band.
Yeah, it's a 7.
All right, 7 + 5 is even a. Let's see, is that a special number? No.
12?
It's
12?
13 special.
Oh.
So close.
But it's you absolutely convince them to dead the music up a bit. So
I think
is
they
this
all put on sunglasses, first of all.
and
yeah,
the
they
whole
and they slide down.
they definitely slide
Yeah.
down. But you see one there's one skeleton that is not, is definitely not a human. So it's from some being that has strange bony extensions all running down sort of its appendages, and it, basically the band leader, right, snaps, and this strange appendaged skeleton sends out. It's almost like an unfurling of these little vertebrae that sort of fly out, and they seem to whirl up a column, and where lots of those like nets are attached and everything. And you hear something gently click, and the whole lighting of this area changes. Where the lighting is coming from, who knows? But it gets a little more intimate, a little more romantic. There had been a little bit of like harsh, brassy echoes on this like granite floors, and now it's a little muted and sweet. So people are surprised, but there's sort of a new crowd coming into the dance floor for this more intimate dance. But you are still like showing off the most exquisite, hard, technical moves, right?
Yeah, and the goal, I'm also trying to make Lucy look really good. Like the goal of the dance being like, I think it's like a classical style dancing where the dude is usually like a prop whose job it is to like show off fancy dress and
absolutely.
all that. So
very tango.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so that is all happening. We come back to you. We don't have another person to introduce, do we? I think we're
Nope,
okay.
we're good for that for now.
But you were coming up to Agamemnon Butler,
Yes.
right? So you make your way up that balcony, and you hadn't met them before, but you want to solicit them for information about memories.
Yeah. So when I get up there,
Yeah.
Agamemnon Butler is just finishing up this conversation with
Yes.
this nymph and is still at the dais looking out.
Yeah.
And there's a column. So right before I turn the column, I'm going to blow one of these suckers, an incantation.
Yes.
So Kitty is like, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and like bumps fists with Lucky, who then like goes into her pocket. And I'm using a moment of clarity before the curtain rises. It's a level 2. When you speak to someone, you think of exactly the right thing to say, and you add 3 bene to your interaction pool.
What?
Yep. So right now with that going, I have
Who will let Kitty have that? That's brutal in your hands.
So I have 5 to this check right now.
Wow.
So she feels pretty good about this. A waiter goes by with a thing of like rotting dead meat that has flies going around it, and she picks a fly out of the air.
Oh, please don't.
And walks over to
Nice.
Agamemnon Butler. And like gets lazy and tired over the side of the balcony and offers out the fly to the spider portion.
Excellent. So having sort of let this nymph conversation die down, you see the eyes sort of stutter open of this this puppet, and Agamemnon looks very excited. You see the spider through the little porthole, getting all manner of excited jitters. Do you want to voice him? Or?
Oh, sure. A gift for me?
Yeah, please.
Oh, thank you. They don't have enough food for people like me here at this party.
No.
And he takes the puppet takes the fly, and the head just opens like the jaws on a complete hinge, and it drops the fly down the gullet, and the spider like for a quick second like flits out of sight and then comes back, and the head closes.
Yeah, she keeps eye contact with the puppet because that feels like the correct and polite thing to do. Yeah, I found the thing about most parties like that are that they're not really considerate for all sorts of people, and the entertainment isn't commiserate with like interests. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes I think people invite others more to have them as showpieces than to actually cater to their needs.
Right, that's what I mean. Like I don't know. I feel like I got invited because people know that I'm trying to figure out a whole bunch of memory-related stuff, and they're like, oh, there are going to be lots of dead people from your past, and I'm like, okay, but all those people are going to be busy and going to have various interests and other things going on, and it's rude to just assume that they're going to want to be involved with my whole, like, memory quest, you know?
Well, memories are easy come, easy go for the right prices. But I'm surprised that someone with your last name feels so out of place here.
Really?
Oh yeah, I would think that a heart could come and go through the pale sun as they please. I'm surprised that people are not more willing to cater to your needs of all people here.
Huh. I don't know. This has been my first time here, so I haven't really been experiencing that. This is all very, very new to me.
It surprises me.
Well, who do you think I should be talking to then? Because, like, as I said, I'm pretty...
But if it's memories you're looking for, I probably have access to the one you need. And I'm always interested in making deals with a heart. And the puppet, like, visage, nothing happens, and the spider is like a spider, so there's not a whole lot of emotions going on there. But it almost, like, involuntarily, like, strums one of the webs, and the arm just kind of, like, twitches, and then, like, casually rearranges into a...
Yeah, well, she keeps her eyes in, like, puppy doe-eyed mode, and she's like, well, what sort of prices are you talking about?
And you guys are looking over Wayne and your cousin, sort of having this incredible, like, romantic, beautiful, sensuous, like,
And it is a dead tango. I really want to point that out.
Oh,
So
yeah?
whatever you think of as a tango has got to be like 10 times what is happening now.
It's the border of life and death. There's lots of...
This is
I
a
love it.
Gomez Morticia dance.
Yeah,
That's very good.
That's very good.
Oh my gosh.
Well, prices are so negotiable. I usually deal in mage coins, but it seems like maybe that's a little bit above your pay grade if you are feeling new and uncomfortable. I'd be happy to work out something else, maybe trade a memory for a memory.
A memory for a memory. What sort of memories are you looking for?
I'm not sure what you have to offer. Do you mind if I peruse?
Oh, he's so skeevy.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And I think from the dance floor, I find a way in the dance to, like, shoot a look up
Yeah.
at you, and I just steeple my fingers really quick, like in the middle of the dance, and then resume it.
Yeah. Well, how about... I'm always interested in seeing, like, the mechanics of how people work. If I show you a specific set of memories, would you show me how the whole process works?
How's a removal process would work?
Perhaps. I mean, I would like to see how you peruse. If we're going to be entering into a sort of deal, I'd be very interested in watching you work.
Oh, of course. The brain is very much like a web, just a connection of synapses that are easy enough to navigate if you know your way around.
Sure. So if I'm relegating you to a portion, you know, I'd love to see your work. Basically, is what I'm saying. I think it would be really entertaining. It would be really entertaining for people here.
Of course. What exactly is it that you're looking for? It's hard to assess the value of something when we're talking in such vague terms.
Well, you're looking to remove a memory, and I'm looking to gain memories that I have lost, right?
Oh, it should be simple enough for me to locate a hole in the web.
I'm thinking that I don't want just any memory completely removed. However, I think that it might be entertaining for party guests to see the removal of a memory. So if I section off a portion of possible memories for you to peruse through, and we make the entire thing a public viewing, I think people would really like to see the removal of a heart memory.
Heart memories.
What do you think? I think that would certainly be something that would speak well to your name. And she's going to roll a persuasion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
With this outrageous bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's do it.
And I'll chuck a sortilege in there. And spend an interaction penny.
And you have +1 from the.
Oh my
ongoing-
god. Okay. This is a very big roll. So it's, hold on, 3, 5, 6, 7,
Dang.
15.
13.
13, yeah, that's math.
13. Excellent.
That's an important number.
That's
right?
an important
That is
number.
an
We just
important
hit it,
number.
baby.
Okay.
We couldn't do it in Torg, but we did it here.
Oh man. Talk about that later.
I think we should cut to the performance, right?
Oh, okay.
If you're cool with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So a section of it doesn't have to take very long. You've sort of gotten some people around,
Yeah.
but what does it look like when you're trying to?
I think there is like
I'm having like
like-
Young Frankenstein style like big auditorium of
I think at this point a lot of the other dancers have kind of like stopped and circled up and are like
Yeah.
like clapping or whatever. And I
think the
twirl
dead
Lucy
sway.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
they like goes from side to side. And I twirl Lucy out and then like she twirls herself back in and I catch her and like dip her.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the the
Yeah.
song kind of ends there. And we hoist back up and just like people are clapping.
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
like no. And I'm, like,
White
trying to pick up.
roses raining down.
Yeah. And I just turn to Lucy and I say, it was hard to keep up with you. Or it's you're Lucy, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think we both know that that's not what was going on.
I only tried to rise to your level. As a matter of fact, that has left me parched. Do you mind if I excuse myself for a moment?
Of course.
I'll bring you a drink if you like.
Hurry back.
I will. And I turn around and I do this.
Excellent. So as you're going to get a drink, you're maybe walking in on the performance that's sort of happening.
Yeah.
So
So I have sectioned him off to, he can remove any memory associated with me stealing from Lucy today.
I think I'm going to need a roll to see how well you're able to section that off. If
Yeah,
that sounds okay.
absolutely.
So might be like intellect, or if you wanted to spend any bene.
Yeah, I will
but
spend an
it's
intellect bene.
Cool, but it's going to be a resist defense, which you may actually have skill in. I can't recall if you did.
How would I have skill in it?
You just, as you leveled up, you may have gotten it from something.
Okay.
Do you have any resist?
No, I have persuasion, intimidation, deception, and stealth as things.
Cool. I'm going to be a jerk and say that since this is like a magical, what did you say? A perusal
Yeah.
of your memories, and so you're going to need 2 successes. So you have to spend sortilege first of all, if you have it.
I don't have it.
You have an action that refreshes a pool, so you can spend one of those.
Okay.
And it refreshes it totally, so you get 2.
Whoa, that's radical.
I did not know
I'm gonna
that
be
we could do that.
spending
Sorry,
Ben's like
you
a
should-
mofo.
Yeah.
You
Holy
get that
cow.
twice. It's only 1 pool, but
Per session?
per like rest, per long
Oh,
rest.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Holy
yeah.
God.
I'm gonna be casting a lot.
All right, the cannons are coming off. Didn't realize I was holding you back.
Thank you so
For
much,
kidding.
Roy.
Yeah,
you.
we do need it.
Okay, so I have +2 to the check right now.
You have +2 to the check. I'm going to write down a little
And
level
for the
this
second
person.
roll, I want to point out that at the very beginning of this session, Kitty was also granted a +1 by somebody who couldn't stick around.
I already used it.
You already used
Okay.
it? Okay.
But I do have +1 right now because of the current card.
Current card, but also that card, right? Isn't that one?
No,
yours?
that's for
That's
Calvin.
Calvin. Okay.
So I have +3.
All right.
Whew, an 8. So that's 11.
That's for the first success.
Yes.
What's the other one?
That's 10.
Okay, dang. Okay, you did very nicely. Good rolling. So you do actually partition. I was calling him a level 9 for that perusal effect. So you had 2 successes. So you sort of magically put up these wards as he's perusing, and it's that success and real knowledge of what's going on that lets you know when things start going wrong.
Okay.
So you had partitioned perfectly off memories of the whole I got robbed by an angel story, right? Yeah. All the memories related to that. Our dear friend Agamemnon is starting the perusal process. And are you walking people through it verbally to
Yeah, I
are
think
you showing them?
it starts with the Agamemnon's spider body, which is like this big.
Yeah.
He's a big spider.
Splits open, and a smaller spider comes out from inside of him, and crawls up and out of the puppet's mouth, which is unhinged, and it just like spits a little web like line into the air and like floats over to the top of Kitty's forehead.
Yeah.
And starts pulling like strands, like silvery strands of memories out of her head, and starts like weaving them into like web that comes out. And it's like talking about this process.
I'd like to think that there is a person who's like a candle, like they're a candelabra. And
Lumiere.
Yeah, it's a Lumiere type. And
Lumiere.
Agamemnon takes one of its little spider legs, just gestures them near, so they like lean in, and then on the wall there is a shadow.
You're making it a shadow projection?
That's radical.
Beautiful. Okay, cool. So you're just starting to. Do you want to explain? Tell us about this process,
The
Professor.
thing about memories is that, much like webbing, they are constantly being rebuilt. So even the ones you trust in most may just be a new strand on the top of an old construct. Looking here, we see, my, quite a big hole.
And as it's like weaving this web kind of outward and above you, there's this section where it just seems like a bunch of the strands start twisting in on themselves to avoid this area.
Yeah.
And the web it's weaving right now is like the size of my palm, and there's like a $50 sized hole missing in this web area.
It's like even the section that you gave me is just riddled with tempering.
This one looks interesting though, and it pulls on the strand, and we see this like flash of, it's almost like the strand unfurls like a scroll.
Perfect.
And on it plays this image of I forget the name of the two-headed lion already, but the lion coming up out of the summoning
Ari
circle,
Aloha.
and it's almost like a visual on a loop, like a GIF of this like flash of light, and then the lion coming up, and then the flash of light and the lion coming up.
It says, this is a bit of a high summon for someone who claims not to know much.
Sure.
Well.
And it folds that one up and keeps kind of like pulling strands.
People clap as you show off and let ooh ah and
I think probably even that small image catches the eye of the goetic, this old goetic who's coming in here.
Absolutely. Which goetic? The
I forgot his name, but he's
Gabriel Kincaid?
Yeah. He's the old man.
So Gabriel Kincaid is coming over and looking very interested in what's happening here. And are you going to also demonstrate the repairing parts of her memory, or giving something back, or this is the show and now we consult?
I think there's like the show part, and then like simultaneously there's a little bit of like,
not a lot in here that's overtly useful to me, but this one maybe I could do something with.
And it's you. It's like this weird matted memory of you stealing the dress, that then ties back into this image of you walking into your mansion with the suitcase.
Yeah.
And for some reason, those two memories seem like stuck to each other.
It says, that is very interesting. This one is worth, I would say, a repair in a heartbeat. Or two.
QT.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna give me back all of the things that I'm currently looking for in terms of the $50 thing, the major thing that I'm missing, the thing that I'm looking for here, all the stuff related to original Kitty Hart, then yes, you can take that petty theft.
That's where this memory ends.
And it gestures towards the suitcase memory. It's like, that's where the repairs begin is where this memory ends. I'll repair them for you, but I'll go on blind faith that whatever they are, I want a copy.
Ooh.
That's the only way I can see to ensure that we get equal value in memories. Wouldn't you agree?
Interesting. Is that how you work with all your clients?
Not at all.
Is that how you work with all your clients that you go on memory deals with?
Every case is specific. Like I said, I usually trade in mage coins, depending on the magnitude of the memory that people are seeking. But in this case, neither of us really know what we're looking at, do we?
This doesn't sound like the worst deal to me, Mr.
If
Butler.
anything, a 1 = 1 is the most equitable deal possible.
However, where do I find you? Where do you live?
Where does Agamemnon live?
Agamemnon has a summer cottage in the blue where memories
Of
are.
course he does.
But is often drawn to Saturnine for teaching classes and other business.
I know where your heart mansion is. If you'd like, we can arrange a date and I will pay you a visit.
All right, let's do business.
Excellent. It will have to be in the next 6 months or so. My life cycle's over.
Oh my god!
Is that too soon?
No, that's fine. Let's just do this portion tonight, and then we'll figure out the follow-up after, you
Very
go
well.
through your process.
So there's the looping gif of the suitcase, of young Kitty with the suitcase entering Heart Mansion and then zipping back out and entering Heart Mansion, happening in the background, and despair. That suitcase shimmers a bit and something starts like leaking out of it. It looks more illusion-y than the proper memory. It looks like some sort of magic on top of the image you're doing. And what comes out is Imago. So there was an NPC announcement that an NPC would arrive, and this is an unusual way to do it, but here comes Imago, the beautiful like moth creature with like many pairs of wings, who's a really high powerful demon who's in charge of a super cool like not thieves guild but like den of thieves, right?
Yeah.
In the red, gets pulled out of that suitcase, and her face is a like horrible like mask of agony, and she like quickly unfurls and like out of the suitcase and wraps you up in her wings and says, "I'm sorry, Kitty." And that is when combat happens.
What?
Dang!
Is Agamemnon still on your forehead? Because he's getting the fuck out of there.
Oh no, Agamemnon. So Kitty gets wrapped up in these wings, and that is when there are more demons popping out of that suitcase.
What?
And one of them, like viciously, Arakesh, who you had even summoned before. Yeah. Like snarls and just like takes out. It's got these like big, weird, meaty arms and claws, and just rips our dear Agamemnon Butler right from the center and pulls half of the legs off.
Whoa!
And then just sort of stomps on Agamemnon's core little spider body and keeps running. And the puppet marionette falls to pieces.
Oh no!
So that's where we'll end this one.
What?
No!
As
Wait,
a
no.
host of demons are spilling out from your suitcase into the party of the eternal dead. And
Sorry, guys.
Oh my
Holy
god!
shit.
screams
What?
and music and lights erupt.
Oh.
So we're going to see what these cats can do and why it is clear that Imago is being, who was your bud, who
Who's
worked
my
for
friend?
you,
Who we're like friends.
is slowly
Spider bro.
Oh no.
is slowly doing some sort of untoward thing toward you. But
Yeah, I
apparently
know
against her will.
exactly who to
Wow.
blame for this. It's Daniel goddamn McPherson.
I know exactly that it's his fault.
It's his fault, and we have to kill him.
Oh, thank God this party's over.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Lots of secrets still to be unfurled here. I think nobody got what they wanted, except there was a lovely dance.
Holy shit.
Holy
Yeah, but I
Agamemnon
hated it.
being dead isn't necessarily.
It's not the
'cause
worst.
We're in the Pale now.
That's
Like,
true.
That's an interesting point.
And we did sort of kind of establish that he
He
lives
was
and
gonna
dies
die
over and over
anyway.
again.
Yeah,
True.
that's-
But it stomped on your plans.
Holy smokes!
We probably owe him some mage coins for the trouble.
I mean, or I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
All right, chat. This is where we're going to stop for next time. We
Yeah.
will open up on this explosive.
combat?
Oh my gosh.
Is it too late to ditch Wayne and play Agamemnon? He's radical.
Agamemnon.
Rules.
He's great.
So, speaking of that, don't leave chat because I have an important announcement. This is next week is going to be Escape from Shadow Week, okay? So we would love to get more people in on this cool, weird storytelling experience that we're all doing. And so we're going to try to get some more people watching live for the video. So come bring a friend. This is an excuse to share something you love and get more friends into our cool circle. So if we get to, did we decide 80? If we have 80 views, like people watching live at the same time, we will do a development mode session with an NPC of your choice. So I'm still very curious about that bickering married couple that keeps swapping places.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Agamemnon Butler is amazing and lovely, and I want
Wanna
more
know
of that
more
I want
forever.
a lot
Everything.
more.
And yeah, anyone you want. We will have a development mode session with them. So so come spread the word, escape from Shadow, and let's open in on this like crazy weird like pale sun combat explosion.
Oh,
next
this
week.
poor party.
I can
I
tell you,
know.
I'm gonna do some wild
Oh man,
stuff.
I'm about to go
Yes,
monster
Moxie.
mode on all these
Moxie.
guys.
Moxie, yes. All right. So that's my one announcement for next week, but we still have to do character summaries and figure out.
Yeah.
Unless we want to hold that off. Since
No,
it's-
No, let's do it.
I
We
think
have to.
God,
I think we need to
have
process. My only other announcement is that this is the first week where we have multiple Invisible Sun shows going on, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
So I get to be a player in The Raven Wants What You Have, which is run by Monty Cook and will air Friday at 7 p.m. PT, so 9 p.m. Central. So come join me there too. I will be watching and chatting live. So
What sort of, what order are you a part of?
I am an apostate.
Oh!
Yeah,
Ooh.
and I'm the cicatrix, and I've got loose morals, and it's pretty delightful. So come watch that too. So let's do character summaries. So we're going to talk about things that brought you joy, despair, and things that moved you along different character arcs. Calvin, what are you
Okay.
feeling?
So I think joy is pretty evident in this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was just having the time of his life in the world of the dead.
Yeah.
He had a great time at this party. He won a contest, which was very, very exciting.
Yeah, that was very well done.
As far as despair, apart from the one that you gave out, I'm trying to think if there was any other despair. And it might have just been the despair
Yeah.
that was issued.
This is a pretty positive session for Calvin.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
I mean, yeah, he's had a rough go of things, so I think it's good that he ended with some joy here, but that puts the despair that I have currently at 4 and
Wow.
the joy that I currently have at 3. So I'm gonna be spending some stuff soon.
That's very good. So for people who are curious about who Imago was, that was a demon that Kitty Hart summoned last episode, so episode 3, I believe, to help to help these cats get out of their
Wow,
ill-advised
we're
lease.
really only 4 in?
Yeah.
It feels like we've done a lot.
I mean, technically we've had 5 streams because
Right.
we did do the development mode stream, but yeah,
But
we're
yeah,
still
this
very
is
early in this
session
story.
4.
Yeah.
Damn.
Excellent. So, all right. So I think you only got joy from this. What about acumen? What about like character arcs you were interested in having?
Oh, well.
Tell me.
I think my mysterious background, who were you,
Yeah, just have-
definitely comes into play.
Absolutely.
And let's see. The other ones that I have going, find a place in Saturnine. I don't think that comes into play here. Make a powerful enemy. perhaps there are like elements of it, and learn why Daniel McPherson is interested in you. I think the one that I hit on the hardest is definitely my mysterious background here.
I think so, and especially with the different powers you've been unlocking. So both from the mask and having that deja vu moment, and from the someone else recognized you and said, "You're more powerful than this. Why are you playing this game with with like the noobs? Please stop." So I'll award you 4 acumen for moving along that, and then I'll award acumen for the group at the end. Cool. How about you, Kitty Heart?
Wow.
Yeah.
She's feeling things.
I was like writing down some like, well, that's a joy, that's a despair for Kitty. You had some.
That's pretty good moment in getting back Lucky Strike.
Yeah.
That was really
absolutely.
good.
And committing to a path of faithful stewardship.
Yeah.
What? No?
Did we misread that?
Otherhead, I feel as though we have made a mistake.
She's considering friendship, which doesn't feel that great. Is that fair to say?
Friendship feels wonderful.
No, it doesn't.
You will feel the power of friendship.
No.
Behold!
It doesn't feel very good. It feels weird and yucky, and we don't like it. So there's that.
But a joy for getting
it's definitely a joy for getting him back. But there were a lot of feelings there, and they weren't all happy, you know. But it was generally a happy thing. And then also like it was money's gonna be coming in because you know that guy, what a rube. Right?
Absolutely.
So that was exciting. This venture is a lot's going on, but net profitable.
Yeah.
Net profitable. Then my cousin showed up, and that's daunting and terrible and not great. And going to bite me soon.
Oh yeah.
And I'm clearly trying to like deal with it, put myself in a good position to deal with it, with getting rid of the memories and blah blah blah. But it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a bad thing. Like here's the thing about it is that like it's my cousin, so it's my aunt's kid, and the aunt's the one who doesn't want me to go to the house. So it's like, oh god. So cousin's not great. And then there's the Agamemnon Butler situation, and man, was that a mixed bag.
Yeah, you'd struck a pretty good deal. You had really defended your memories against this quite powerful...
and trustworthy sounding.
Yeah.
Look, I know he's not. It's not like I don't know he isn't.
It's a great conversation because both people on both sides of it know that he's not trustworthy.
Yeah. That's all it is. It's just that I know.
But he was a tool.
Yes, he's a tool.
And it was a tool that was taken away from you.
Yeah.
At least for now. So I think I'm going to award a despair for the combination of cousin is most definitely coming after you and
has a crush on Wayne.
But she's always had a crush on Wayne. That hasn't changed.
Has she?
Yes.
I don't think she knows that this is Wayne.
No, she knows. She knows it's Wayne, doesn't she? It's Party Wayne.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, it's Party Wayne.
But
She has had
does
a
that mean
crush
that we've
on-
met before? Haven't we?
Yes, you
we
have.
Okay.
Yeah. The way you played it, you totally could have met her before. You were
Yeah,
just,
that's fair.
It's
That's
just
true.
been a while,
The
right?
thing is that, but like, she's also trying to play it really cool because she has had a crush on you forever.
Oh boy.
Man.
Yeah.
Is she older? In my head, she was older for some reason.
Yeah, she's like 2 years older than us.
Oh, that's not.
It's not a
I
lot.
thought I pictured her as like a 50-year-old.
No,
lady.
she's 2 years older than us. Because like her clothes are contemporary, you know, that we're the same size. This isn't the first
Fair.
time I've stolen her clothes. She doesn't like it when I do this.
That's fair.
Kitty, goddammit!
Yeah, but this is a known quantity. That's like her dancing with Wayne was almost a despair for me.
Oh,
it might
yeah.
even be one.
I think it should be one.
It would,
Okay.
yeah, because it's just like this is gonna be. It's not a problem because I know where Wayne's head is, but I know where her head's going to be, and I'm gonna have to hear about it. You know.
It's happening.
All right. So
Told you.
Like it's a God, and yeah. So there's all of that. But then, like, I had this whole path to, like, work on my stupid character arcs, you know, on this whole settle a debt and solve a mystery of this whole thing that I'm missing.
Yeah.
It was all, like...
You were so close.
I'm so close.
I would say you get a little bit of acumen, though, because it is suspicious that, like, the timing of this attack happened when you were so close to getting that memory.
Absolutely.
So it raises the question
insane.
of who's keeping you from it.
Right.
So I'm going to award you 2 acumen for, like, I must be close because they're screwing us over.
And Imago's
If
good, you know,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
never mind.
Oh,
I don't
gosh.
want to say it out of fear that I might be correct, but I have a theory.
But
I have a theory too.
Oh my goodness. Well, everybody write down their theories and put it in the center and I'll tell you if you're right. Very exciting. Cool. So I think overall, 1 joy, 2 despair.
Okay.
It was kind of a rough day for Kitty, but 2 acumen along those paths.
Yep.
Any other character arcs?
yeah, it was just settle a debt and solve a mystery. The only those are the things that like it's my Kitty Heart stuff, and then specifically the gap in my memory that I'm trying to fix, and then the other big character arc that I have is dealing with Calvin and the mystery of his stuff, but I haven't gotten to start on that yet. I'm excited to, but who knows if I'll get to at this party at this point, because now we're dealing with this.
Oh, I think you'll be seeing some things that will raise more questions
Yes.
very soon.
Excellent. How about you, buddy?
Well, I have my 1 despair, and I don't remember exactly where it came from, but despair seems about right. Yeah, I think, you know, I came here looking for Vittoria, not happening.
Yep.
Now I'm stuck at this party. Hip hip hooray. I've been schmoozing this whole time, and it feels like for no reason now.
Yeah.
And to make matters even worse, my soulmate has just been attacked from her, like a bunch of creatures that erupted from her own memories.
Yes.
So I think I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has their demons.
Monster. Despair.
Dead silence.
Please.
All right. So did anything bring you joy, though? Or this session, or not?
Nah.
No.
I gotta be honest, nah.
All right. So I think there's enough stuff happened to poor Wayne today.
But
that-
I think actually my learn about a person character arc, I think has become now like a very lit thing for me, because I have been listening in while the party's been going on. I've been listening in on my other 2 friends here and finding out that Calvin has connections here is a fly in the ointment of his new to actuality storyline. So, and since he responded in gobbledygook, I think I'm probably convinced that he's keeping things from us.
Yes.
Is where Wayne would jump to.
I like that.
So learn about a person story arc is like gaining priorities, and also I think that's sort of like an aha, I knew something was wrong here, and like so that character arc, it feels like it's moving a little bit.
Excellent.
I didn't get any closer to anything else though.
Well, I think it's a pretty significant jump. Learning about especially the Calvin information that you've been gleaning information on, and then like the fact that you got to the Pale, looking, you know, you're getting close to Vittoria Jus. This is a place where you're very likely to find something important and to your own mystery about where your memories have gone. So I'm still going to award you some acumen because that's very relevant. So 4 acumen for you.
Yay.
And I'm going between 1 and 2 despair based on all the stuff that happened.
Well, I already have 1.
Yeah. But that was an in the moment thing. I forget what it was for. So I think I'll give you 1 additional despair.
Okay.
So despair for everybody.
Yay!
And then
Was this a joy or a despair?
I think that was a despair that
That was a despair.
that the initial despair that
the
Lucky
2
Strike was.
active things that she handed out were despairs this session.
I need to get different tokens. But all right. So overall, you guys have gotten to the Pale. You've made some new connections, a lot of cool new NPCs that came in. Thank you guys for having the triggered entrances. That was really fun, and we'll be sure to, we'll see what all those NPCs do next week too. So I'm going to award 3 additional acumen for everybody for getting to the Pale very well. You guys successfully navigated the warden of the Pale Sun, Jalad, with your super cool Weaver magic, and you kissed the ring and didn't piss anybody off. So hey, that's a pretty big win for you guys. And we'll see what you do next week, hopefully with some more folks as we have an explosive, spell-slinging, see invisible sun in all of its high-powered action time, right?
Yes.
And possibly die.
And possibly die.
It's a very deadly system.
Man, hopefully.
All right, I think we should call it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And we'll see you next week, and maybe on Friday if you come to The Raven Wants What You Have. Bye.
Bye-bye.